Hi guys, Shine81 here and welcome to another speed build. So this time we are following a picture as a guide, and this is a New England estate that we are going to try and recreate. So we're just going to start off with the sort of basic sort of foundation of the build, and I'm just going to just sort of start with how the front sort of looks, and I'll just kind of build it back and just sort of add my own sort of depth to it, because I can't really tell at the moment how deep it is. We only have the one picture to look at, so it made for an interesting way to do this, I think. And at this stage in the build, terrain tools weren't available, so towards the end of the build you will see, probably in the next episode because it's divided into two, that in the next build there will be some terrain manipulation. So I think I cut most of it out just because it did take so long, because it was like the first time using it, so it took me a little while to work out how to sort of do things. Yeah. So this little hexagonal sort of room was a little bit challenging. Just trying to make it look how it should. But and then sort of adding depth in as well. Little bay windows and then balconies, and took a little bit of effort. And then like second story sort of thing as well there, or third story I guess. I see it as second story because it's like the bottom part feels like a basement, but it's not. It's technically the first floor. And then the house is sort of, it feels like the house is above that, but especially when I put grass on that sort of second floor there. Sorry about the noises. My fridge is a squeaky one, unfortunately. It's just adding like trying to get the bay windows right, the right angles and things. I struggle with these roof pieces and things. They never seem to work right for me. I don't know why that one decided to stick right through. I was like, what is going on? I think I lower it and it fixes itself. But yeah. Roofing this was interesting. It wasn't too bad once I got it done, but a lot of watching, like looking at what I needed to do in the picture and sort of trying to match it to what I could do, and things were a bit tricky, but yeah, it was good. I just like putting roofs out over these little balcony pieces as well. I had these other little funny roof pieces that I sort of had to add in as well, which I wasn't used to. And the chimneys, like it's got 3 chimneys on it. One's quite bigger than those other 2 that are a bit smaller, and so I do shrink them down as well, to get them to work as well. But they proved to be quite difficult as well. They wouldn't sit properly on the roof, and so it was like I was forever moving them. I had to move them up and down and all over the place. They were a bit of a nuisance. And then at the very top there is this little sort of observation deck as well you can get out onto, and I make this little piece for the centre of it as well, which is kind of fun. And then the back of the house I sort of had to, like I said, make up, because I think this house is partly set into a hill. From the picture I can sort of see it's definitely set into a bit of a hill, but like I said, I couldn't do that until I got terrain manipulation, so I just realised that shouldn't have been done on the floor. I should have moved that up onto the next floor. But this is where I have heaps of trouble with these chimneys. This is where I decided to shrink them as well. I think I shrink them. I don't think they end up as big as they should anyway. Oh yeah, and then this little piece, I try sizing it up, it didn't quite work. I sort of place it and it sort of gets lost, so then I raise it up and I'm like, why don't I build a bit of a half wall around it and rise it up to that, and yeah, it worked really well. So then you can actually see it from the bottom, and it's still sort of there, sort of visible. I started to add windows now, so use little square windows at the top of that that piece there, the sort of hexagonal piece, which looks really cute, and try and match roughly the windows and what they used in the build and with what I can use in game. So makes it a lot of fun. And just added like a little half wall around the balcony, and oh yeah, just adding a little fence on top of that half wall at the top there as well. Still playing with those chimneys, they keep moving on me, and I decided to, yeah, I sized them up, do I? Maybe I sized up, not down. I don't know. I know they're not their standard size. Oh yeah, I tried to build like a little bit of a piece for them to sit on, but that doesn't work either. Or does it? Or is that how I do it? Maybe that's how I do it. Okay. Alright, yeah, one's normal size. That one, I think, is the normal size one. And the others are shrunk and placed on a half wall type piece at the sides, which kind of works. It's really hard. You can't match the brick though, like the stone that's in the chimneys to any other stone. Sort of, there's no matching stone wallpaper, so I kind of like had to do as close as I could. And I like that little sort of the hexagonal room with all the windows. It just looks really sunny and airy and quite pretty. Oh yeah, add stone down to the bottom half because that was all stone brick. Because like I said, it's kind of like a basement, but not really. I don't know what you'd call it. Sort of the foundation area, sort of, that's what it's meant to look like. And oh yeah, trying to find pillars that would suited. I end up using the season one because it matched the same stone brick. I thought that looked really good. It sort of blends a bit more. And other fencing as well. Just a standard balustrade sort of fencing. Balustrade, I don't know whether that's right. Or do I change? Oh yeah, take the fencing out of the bottom. And just adding posts and fencing and all sorts. Oh yeah, just use a standard one, sort of wooden post at the top, so that it looks like it's wood through. Then sort of, yeah, kind of looks cool. And the main entryway is on the second floor. So I think though you'll have to set that as your entrance because I'm not entirely sure on this lot as to where the actual entrance is, like where the main, which way it faces, and which way the entrance would naturally be. So I think you'd have to set as front door, a certain one, whichever one you want, because there's quite a few entrances into the house. And what else do I do? And I just added more windows and things. Trying to make sure it looks decent. And those skinny windows look kind of cool. They use different windows for different areas as well, so looks, because part of it sort of looks like it was added on later or something, so sort of wanted to give it that look. And I decided to sort of map out a pool as well because pool was a major feature in this build as well in the picture, so I'll try and do as best as I can to make it look like is what you're looking at on the picture. And oh yeah, just recentering the house. I sort of got a bit off centered there. That's alright. It's easy to do with the move lot tool, so that's handy. And just resizing a few pieces just to make it fit a bit better. Lining up roofs and things like that. And extending out some of that down lower ground floor sort of thing. And taking out the walls, making sure that I could then work out where I want to put all the stairs and all that sort of stuff as well. I know this is where having that control key or shift key, whichever one it is, no, it's control, to floor down would be easier. So, because I was trying to place the stairs, I had to keep going up and down and moving them across a bit, but Now that we've got the control, put the stairs downwards. So when you're placing stairs now, if you on an upper floor, you can just hit control, and the stairs will instantly snap to the next floor down instead of the floor up, which is really handy. It's great. It makes it a little bit easier to place them. I just think it's great. I couldn't work out why it was open to light in that stairwell as well. I realised that because the stairwell at the top opens up to the sky, that's the light was actually funneling down. So I was like, is it not a room? What's going on? But it was fine. It's just that the light was coming through from top, so I fixed that by blocking that room off at the top. And just trying to work out all the rooms and things upstairs, and then this bottom piece I don't do yet. It gave me nightmares, that bottom part. It's like, I know what I need to put in the top part, but in the bottom part I didn't really know what to put in. And I'm moving the windows up just a little bit so they weren't right at the bottom, which I think looks a bit better, especially from a distance. You can sort of see them. And I added a barbecue. So I've got all this furniture in my inventory, because what I did is I took over the Villarreal house and knocked it down. So I still had some the Villarreal residents in there, or at least the children. And I decided I wanted to keep all their furniture and see what I could do with it. And basically give them a new house. And so this is the new Villarreal house. Yeah, so I work out sort of where I want each furnishings to be. And what I also did was I grabbed some screenshots of the Villarreal house, how it was laid out in the furniture, and sort of recreated it, if that makes sense. So each room had the same furnishings in it as what it did in the original Villarreal house. So yeah, it was a bit of fun. It made furnishing just a little bit easier. I took out some of the decision making out of my sort of hands, which was good. And I was just trying to go a little bit ridiculous with putting a nice skating ring in, but I decided not to. It's like, no, let's not do that. But this is cool. I add a spar in, and I add some more, so the spar bath's outside. Some more posts and don't know what's going on there. I want to put fencing there for some reason. Yeah, just trying to work out what I'd done. Accidentally added fence to the wrong part there. And just adding some windows in there as well. Some of those windows get removed because that end area where the spa is actually turns into a bowling alley. So I do go a bit ridiculous with the build and add a bowling alley. So they've got their own private bowling alley now. And just trying to work out rooms as well. It's like nightmare. Put lights in, and the reason I've got that extra wall around the whole property is because I was using the big blocks to make it look like there was sort of ground around it, so like it was built into a hill. But because by the time I finished this build, we'd gotten the terrain tools. I actually removed the extra wall piece, and so it gave me a bit more space as well, because I didn't need to use the rocks then like I did there. So add two. Do I add two? I think it's only, there might still be two, I'm not sure. Bowling alleys, I don't know whether I used to use one or two. I think it's one. Yeah. And I'm still trying to work out the rooms for downstairs. I still want to try and use a skating ring for some reason. I'm like, yeah, let's just squeeze a skating ring in. No. But I do make a sauna, which I'm trying to add here now. I realise it fits that way into the room really well, so I just make it a little bit bigger. Just pull the walls out a bit. I actually switched where the sauna is and that other room around. So the sauna goes towards the back wall, and then at the front sort of bit there is a bathroom, so makes it a bit easier. And then this room is a games room as well, so got the foosball table in there at the moment. I had ridiculous stuff, like the games machine and things. Oh yeah, just changing it up a little bit. Yeah, that's where I decided to change it and put the bathroom at the front there, and then the sauna at the back. I was going to use the massage stuff in there, but it didn't quite fit, so I put it in this space here. And then the front half of this room becomes a gym. So I've got some workout machines as well as the massage chairs and things. Oh, but sort of walling off this room was a pain. So I end up with really weird shapes. But yeah, I managed to squeeze it all in. I do try and fit the climbing wall in there, but because the walls are not high enough, it just doesn't work. So I think I leave it out completely. I may have used it outside. I can't remember. No, just shit. Oh, what did I? No, I did shit. Yeah, I used the boxing bag instead, and a basketball court at the side there, right near some windows. So that'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? Smash. And I just have lots of little bits and pieces. So you're only going to see some of this build in this episode, and then in the next episode you will see the final results of this build. So if you want to find out what I do with the rest of it, click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. So yeah, you get notified when I release it, because you don't want to miss out. You want to see the next half. Oh yeah, there's an entrance to the games room as well off the patio. So like if you're having a barbecue or something, you could easily get in and out of the games room, which would be really cool. There's a photo studio. There's so much fun stuff downstairs, like so much. I think that's probably where I went out and went a bit silly with the build. But you'll see upstairs is pretty sparsely decorated due to it being mostly the Villarreal's furnishings. I mean, I used some of the things that I had stored for downstairs and things, and the outside furniture as well. Dining room. So the dining room's sort of laid out roughly, as well as the kitchen. But I do change it around a fair bit, because I think I take that table out, and you see that I put furnishings in, and then I pretty much cut it out, I think. But when I realised that I wanted to follow what they had in the Villarreal house. So I've jumped ahead a bit here, and I've done some of the decoration of the walls. So here I'm just packing some of the things away. I'm like, no, none of this furniture goes. It's not what they had, so change it around a bit, and just switching around the chairs to make it work a bit better. And there's another entryway there as well, so there's another doorway. You can go directly into that living space from outside, which I thought was pretty cool. And just add some of the lights as well that were used in that room. And just grabbing the some of the items that were perhaps placed in a different room, so I just got to go grab it, find it where I put it, and grab it and move it to the room I want it. Because I started to furnish it without following the photos, and I was like, why not actually follow what they had in the Villarreal house, sort of recreate it a bit. So it was kind of fun. Trying to get because I had the wrong fireplace. They've got the most dullest fireplace in the living room, a really extravagant one somewhere else. I thought it was a bit weird. Oh yeah, and the dining table, it's like 4 chairs, and it's like this really long table. It's like, it's just weird. Oh well, whatever. And I had the wrong light in, so I just got to move some things around, but that's alright. Yeah, so I do add extra furnishings in some of the places as well. Not a great deal, but some. Alright guys, I think though I will be almost ready to leave you for this episode, and we're just going to add some flooring and things around, so to match what was used in the original Villarreal house. And yeah, lots of fun. What else? Oh yeah, leave me a comment if you like what I did, like storing the furnishings from one of the builds and then recreating the house. I think it's kind of fun. But, it's a fun way to use the furnishings and make you not have to think about what you're doing, which is really good. But that's it for me, guys, and I'll be sure to see you all next time. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and leave me a comment, and don't forget that notification bell if you want to be notified of when I upload. That'd be awesome. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.